Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. He'll need to be strong with this. Getting set now over the putt.
Good read, good line, well played.
Now to the par 3 11th, and Frank, what's the key here?
Well, this green is slightly elevated, huge false front, sort of left and right of that Strath bunker. And of course that bunker on the hill, or should I say that bunker on the left is called Hill. That's the famous bunker where Bobby Jones couldn't get out of it many years ago and actually ripped up his scorecard. So a good tee shot here, just find that right level where the flag is.
Can't wait to write those on the card. One below par. Chalk it up. It's a birdie. Frank, from this vantage point here at the 12th, you can see why the old course, St. Andrews, are so iconic in the sport.
Yeah, this is a fun hole as we start to sort of head back to the village of St. Andrews. Hole's called Heathery. There's a big crop of heather on the left, and there's 4 little pot bunkers that are in the middle of this fairway, so you've really got to be cognizant of those. But good time to take the head cover off if you're a long hitter, and then you've only got to worry about that one pot bunker just short of the green.
Had a birdie here yesterday, in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Moving on now to the par 4 13th. Frank, what's the strategy here?
Once again, to avoid those pot bunkers, the first one is called Nicks, and then the other 2 up ahead, once again, they're called the... Oh, he is winding this one up. Does he have the power, though?
Wow, smoked that tee shot. Chance to get it close here. Good-looking shot right here. What a display of shot-making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Frank, what are we looking at here at the big par 5 14th?
Out of bounds on the right, and those little series of pot bunkers called the birdies. Now, if you get in trouble here, you can bail out with your second shot down the left, which is the 4th fairway. It's one other option of playing this par 5. But a good tee shot, and you can certainly go at this for 2.
That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle.
Second shot.
What a shot. Setting up for an eagle here. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Time to tee it up here at the 15th as we begin the closing stretch here at the Open Championship of the Old Course at St. Andrews.
There's a big steeple in the distance, so even when it starts to fog in a bit, if you can keep your eye on that, that's a good line off the tee. You've got to keep it, your tee shot, just short of this sort of heather, big crop of heather down the left side. It still leaves you a lengthy second shot, but really that's the safest way to try and play this par 4 15th. Very good par 4.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. So just 100 yards away, now the second shot. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. All right, Frank, another par 4. It's the 16th. Players trying to make their way to the house, standing up in one piece. What's the best way to get at this hole?
Well, the normal player would actually try and hit the ball down the left. I've seen the odd player try and hit it down that out of bounds line and sort of flash it down the right side, but really there's not much of an advantage, Rich, unless you're the longest hitter in the business. So a little short and a little left of the principal's nose is a nice setup for the second shot here at 16.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday. He's trying for another one today. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going. Keeps the momentum on his side.
Frank, the 17th hole, you can get room service along the way here?
You can. If you flare one right there, you'll also pay a penalty for out of bounds. And so that hamburger better taste good, better be worth it. A little left of that, a little left of the out of bounds, and you're left with a second shot. It's fairly daunting because you have the road hole bunker to avoid and the road behind the green. Hence the name.
Just a perfect drive here at 17. This has left him a good look at this hole. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Oh, I thought he had that. He's not going to be real happy with that. Wow. So they'll tap in. Did the job right there. Frank, here at the 18th, so much history has been made through the years.
Yeah, one of my favorite memories, I remember Jack Nicklaus when he beat Doug Sanders in that playoff. The famous sort of short putt that Doug Sanders missed. But really, the great moment that stands out was Seve making that 15-footer across the hill in 1984 wearing the blue sweater. Not only did he win the Open Championship, but he beat a tremendous field that included Bernard Langer, Tom Watson, Fred Couples, Lanny Wadkins, Faldo, and Greg Norman. It was an amazing Open Championship.
And I love that fist pump. It was pure Seve. All that fire, all that passion came flying out. And that's where you just sort of fell in love with the game. Yeah, that's a good putt right there. From that distance, he'll settle. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. And that wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present final round coverage of the 144th Open Championship. hardest drives I've ever seen. Just let it rip. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
A great start.
Now to the second hole here at the Open Championship. And Frank, what's the best way to attack?
Ideally, if you're not the longest hitter, just down the right side. But if you've got some wind conditions, wind behind your back, you can nearly drive this green.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Wow, I thought he made that. Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
And he makes it for par. Frank, talk about the strategy off the tee here at the third.
Well, you can drive the ball pretty close to this green, Rich. It's shorter than the second hole. Just hit it down the right side, but try and avoid those little pot bunkers.
Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. That was not a very good read right there. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Really no chance to go in there. Just a couple of feet. That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
That's where we start to see shots in hand really valuable.
At the fourth hole now, and Frank, this one looks as though it might require a little bit of club selection off the tee. What are we looking at, partner?
Well, there is two ways to play the fourth off the tee. You can hit it down the right side, but it really starts to narrow up and it's slightly shorter. Most players go towards the middle of the golf course to try and get it on that plateau. But this, certainly the first hard hole you see at St. Andrews.
That was nuclear. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
Frank, a par here, that's just fine. Hole number 5 of the first par 5 we've seen today. This fairway looks like it narrows quite a bit, Frank. Are you thinking eagle when you step up onto the tee?
Well, you could, especially if you've got a little bit of breeze behind you, but it's quite wide in the driving area with the exception of those 3 bunkers on the right that just sort of pop out. But if you can get it past those, this par 5, very reachable.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Had a birdie here yesterday, in there close. Great opportunity for another one. These putts keep the round together. Making it look easy for eagle. Now to the 374-yard par 4 sixth, another scoring opportunity.
Yeah, just be very careful of the wind conditions here because that'll affect the strategy off the tee, but bunkers left and right to be avoided. He's gone for a little extra.
But this one has a chance to be really good. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday, and he'd do it again today. Just drip that in.
Well, it's 4 1/4 inches. Use it all.
Over the ball here at the 7th. And Frank, if you had to script a game plan here, what would it look like?
You could drive this pretty close to the green. This is a green that's shared with the 11th, the par 3. And so you won't see that tee shot finish, but you can actually drive very, very close to a bunker called the shell, which is the one that protects the par 3 at 11th.
Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem. Just misses. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, now at the par 3 8th, and how challenging is this hole?
Well, it's called short on the scorecard, but massive green. The problem here is trying to hit it close. A lot of little subtle breaks and undulations in this green, and often you see long, long birdie putts here.
That's a solid shot here into the 8th hole, and a good chance now for another birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Well, you can't make them all. You'd like to, but you can't. Just a little tap in here. Solid par. Rounding out the opening 9 here at St. Andrews. And Frank, this par 4 features a couple of fairway bunkers that players will have to contend with.
Yeah, this hole is a fun hole when you first stand on that tee and look at it. You see those bunkers smack bang in the middle of the fairway. The last bunker there in the middle is called the end hole. This hole is called the end. But this green, too, is so flat, very, very difficult to read. But if you get there, pull the head cover off the driver. Remember, this is the only chance you get to play the old course.
Yeah, that's a good putt right there. From that distance, he'll settle. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. Seems to really have the touch today. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Can we get a measure on that one? That's enormous.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today.
Oh, another one goes in.
Down to the par 3 11th, and Frank, what's the key here?
Well, this green is slightly elevated. Huge false front, sort of left and right of that Strath bunker. And, of course, that bunker on the hill, or should I say that bunker on the left is called Hill. That's the famous bunker where Bobby Jones couldn't get out of it many years ago and actually ripped up his scorecard. So a good tee shot here, just find that right level where the flag is. Common thread here, rough, rough, rough.
Wrong way again. Birdie try up next. Par yesterday. Now for birdie. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just a couple of feet. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now at the 12th, and Frank, when you put the peg in the ground here, are you licking your chops?
Well, you are, unless you're playing into a head breeze, because if you are playing a head breeze, then you've got to worry about the 4 bunkers that are in the middle of this fairway. Touch of help, if you're a long hitter, then all you've got to do is worry about that little pot bunker just short of this green. There is gorse left and right.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Looks like he just misread that. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Here at the par 4 13th hole at the old course, Frank, what's the best play? Power, or do you go with precision?
Well, you'd like a nice mixture of both there, Rich. If you can take those coffins out of play, that's the name for those series of bunkers sort of down the middle, then obviously you've got a much shorter shot coming in, and then you've got a chance to actually have a full view of the screen.
Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Been pretty good all day from this distance. Just trying to take care of business. Score that. A birdie. Frank, what are we looking at here at the big par 5 14th?
Out of bounds on the right, and those little series of pot bunkers called the birdies. Now, if you get in trouble here, you can bail out with your second shot down the left, which is the 4th fairway. That's one other option of playing this par 5. But a good tee shot, and you can certainly go at this for 2.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, such a sweet swing. Really a pleasure to watch. Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a good lag putt there, Frank.
Yeah, the whole idea of a lag putt, sometimes you build a 3 or a 4 foot circle. Just try and get it inside that. Good putt.
This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Right in the heart. Time to tee it up here at the 15th as we begin the closing stretch here at the Open Championship of the Old Course at St. Andrews.
There's a big steeple in the distance, so even when it starts to fog in a bit, if you can keep your eye on that, that's a good line off the tee. And you've got to keep it, your tee shot just short of this sort of heather, big crop of heather down the left side. It still leaves you a lengthy second shot, but really that's the safest way to try and play this par 4, 15th. Very good par 4.
This is a good-looking shot. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Mark a birdie on the card. 16th hole is a par 4 here at the Old Course, Frank, with another one of those sort of funky features.
Yeah, it's a series of 3 bunkers called the Principal's Nose, plus that out of bounds on the right. So really err on the side of caution, avoiding both the out of bounds and the Principal's Nose. Nothing wrong with going a little bit left here, but the further left you go, then it makes that second shot that much harder because you'll have to bring it across that little pot bunker in the front called the Wig.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That's the idea. Just knock it in. The famous 17th at the Open Championship, Frank, you begin to see the scoreboards, the grandstands, and you know all eyes are on you for the next couple of holes.
Yeah, this is one hole I think that anybody that goes to the Old Course certainly wants to play. Blind tee shot, you've got to flash it across the out of bounds and somehow find the fairway. If you go too safe down the left side, well, there's some heather to be chopping out of. Good tee shot certainly gives you a chance to hit it this beautiful green that's angled to the left, well protected by the road hole bunker. And then if you're a little ambitious and a little strong, then there's a road itself and an out of bounds beyond this green.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Without a doubt, it is one of the most famous finishing holes in all of golf. Frank, it doesn't look like much from the tee, but wow, when you factor in the history, it's something special, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a little road that runs across this par 4. It's about 100 yards short of the green. It certainly comes into play when you play this hole into the breeze. But no breeze or into the breeze, you've got to worry about the out of bounds that surrounds the green all the way down the right side and beyond. And it's a wonderful little finishing hole in many ways because it tests the mere mortal and it tests the greats of the game. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. To win the Open Championship. Wow, I thought it was going in just off the mark by a fraction. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Those keep the round going, those par putts. What a great tournament finish. This one is in the books, and look who finished on top of the leaderboard.
Rich, this has to go down as a classic. Our champion was simply on fire. And I'm looking forward now to see how next week pans out.
Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's live opening round coverage of the California Classic.
Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Good looking shot right here. That will be a great look at birdie. And getting ready for the putt. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage, and you're not going to birdie every hole. And that par certainly won't hurt the cause.
There's still some time. Frank, the second hole is only 371 yards. What's the challenge here?
The bunkering. This is really well bunkered. He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there. Just burning rubber right here. I mean, this one is taken off like a missile.
Just destroyed it. He's going to try and rip the cover off it.
That, Frank, is position A.
Wouldn't you like to have that in your bag every day?
Love it. Frank, I'm guessing as a player, this is the kind of shot you like. Early in the round, short par 4, nice look as you get set for the approach shot.
After a tough opening hole, Pete Dye gives you a chance here. Scoring club in hand, if you can get it to the right distance, even 15 feet right of this flag, very much a birdie chance.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable, that never deviated offline. Sneaks that in. We're now tied.
Frank, Pete Dye certainly gives you a variety of holes, and we see that. Granted, 3 par 4s to start, but each one with a different look.
They certainly are, Rich, and it's amazing what one good bunker will do. And the bunker I'm referring to is the one down the left side. It's about 285 yards to carry. It's the sort of bunker that keeps you honest.
That is just a beautiful shot. All right, Frank, what do you think of this second shot here at the third?
Player gets a big opportunity here. Even though this green is 35 yards deep, it just angles away to the left side. As long as you don't leave the ball out that right side, there's a good chance for a birdie here at 3.
That is an excellent play, the approach shot within 12 feet. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Steady, solid, and at 1 under par right now. And we pick up action at the 4th. Frank, when you get out of the gates, as our featured golfer has done, with a lot of pars, steady play, what's the mindset?
You've got to keep doing that, Rich. Just maybe get a little closer to the hole, drive a little bit better, work on the pace of the putting. Just little gains, and then all of a sudden you're going to notice a big difference in the scorecard.
I mean, really, on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Wow, almost fell within just a few inches of dropping. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. So, hanging in down the stretch with a par. So we played our first par 3, now to the first par 5 on this golf course at PGA West. It is the 535-yard 5th hole. Frank, it appears as though it rewards precision off the tee.
And the Bombers, too. You can run out of water at 335 yards. So for the Dustin Johnsons of the world and the Rory McIlroys, that's nearly doable. But if you can't hit it that far, it's quite obvious. You've got to keep it down the right side. And for those people, they put 2 little bunkers there.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Getting set now over the putt. Frank, you've been there. You make that eagle, you jump into a share of the lead. You're feeling awfully good, aren't you?
Time to puff the chest out, just literally racing to the next hole.
Well, the architect Pete Dye is known for visual intimidation. We see it at TPC Sawgrass at the Players every year. And you see it right here, Frank, at this 255-yard par 3/6 with water everywhere you look.
Yeah, you could make an argument here that it suits a little bit of a cut, like a Lee Trevino-style fade that starts at the left and moves its way to the green, but then that's also moving back towards the water. Conversely, if you try and fly it over that water on the right side with a little bit of a draw, then the green starts to run out on the left side. Have I made it sound hard?
Methodically starting to climb the leaderboard now. 4 under par for the tournament with yet another birdie. Frank, the 7th is a short par 4, 346 yards. So I'm guessing it's a layup off the tee, but it might be a nervy layup because you have water on the right, and if you miss left, that's no bargain.
It's very distracting looking down the right side. I think that's the easiest way to put it. But if you can break this hole down, 346 yards, if you take 120 yards off that, which is like a wedge, then the layup only becomes like 220 yards. That seems a little less intimidating.
Frank, how impressive is this performance so far?
You've got to tip your hat. Really, just play good from the first hole on. Rhythm's good. Hit a lot of good shots. Very smart, very smart decision making as well.
Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. That had to really hurt Frank because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Just a couple of feet. Bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news, it still has the lead.
Can't afford another, though.
Now the second par 5 on this opening 9 here at PGA West. Frank, what are we looking at?
The bunker down the right side gives you that optical illusion because it sort of has that curvy edge to it, plus it's sort of moving its way to that right side. And then you notice there's a bunker on the left that sneaks in on the left side. So this isn't just sort of blaze away off the tee. It still requires a good straight tee shot. If you do err a little bit, then you've got to be very cognizant of the bunkers up on the left side as you get closer to the green.
This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards.
Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, it looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
Beautiful display of ball striking today. Really in control. And that's another GIR, green in regulation. Just playing excellent golf. 5 under for the tournament. Frank, the par 4 ninth at 452 yards is all you want.
Yeah, you could make 5 here every day just by poking it down the left side, but who wants to do that? Force your hand, try and go down the right side. You might make the odd 3, make a few more 4s, but miss it on the right, and that's where you start to make a big number.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Locked in on the read and the speed. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Really powering up here. But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Doing whatever he wants with that golf ball. Moving it left, moving it right, hitting it straight when it's called for. He's doing it all. So makes the putt, and now at -6. Now at the long par 5 11th. They call it eternity with good reason. It is 617 yards. Frank, what's the game plan here?
Hit it as long as you can, hopefully only a couple of times, and you can get fairly close to this green. A little pitch up there, but even if you go for this green or try and get close, that's when you start to notice the water that comes in on the left side. So you can't just bash away. Might only be a couple of bunkers in play off the tee, but they have to be avoided.
Just a bit offline.
Yeah, the hard work's coming up now, though. It's a long way away.
Long putt here. This will require a good touch.
We often say, Rich, you should always try and make it. I've got to disagree with that. Lag putting, it's just about taking the strain off the next one. There's always other holes to be played.
From that distance, you settle for 2 putts. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Wow, he moved that a long ways right in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Well, Frank, we came off a hole, the short par 4 12th, where players no doubt were thinking about making birdie. Here, it's a different story. Why?
It is. Well, 13's always going to be unlucky for some. There's so much water down there on that left side, and the way it sort of laps up to the wooden bulkhead, it looks anything other than a straight shot. And this is where you have to mentally move the flag. You've got to push that flag in your mind's eye to the right side of the green and say, I do not want to go left of that.
You may have lost track at home, but we're keeping count, and that is 9 under for the day. 14th hole, par 4 of 389 yards. It is short, but Frank, there is some danger lurking along the way.
Yeah, most of it's sand. 2 options really. Poke it down that left side, let it run down there like a bowling alley. Either that or take that bunker completely out of play, 290, 300 yard category, and get it down there where it's just a flick wedge in.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
How'd you like that strike?
That was top of the tree.
11 feet away. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Well, Frank, we are turning home. It says so on the scorecard here at 15.
It is, and once again, another example of great bunkering by Pete Dye. Bunkers on a lot of golf courses are just simply left and right, but what Pete Dye does, he lets them cut in, especially that one down the left side of the fairway it cuts in, so it has to be avoided, and it's going to be about 280 yards to take it completely out of play. That's probably the best line, is to get it just past that last bunker on the left side.
Just a pure strike, perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. Now to the par 5 16th. Frank, this is a pretty solid hole.
Like all the other par 5s here, length gets a big advantage here. This hole, as you mentioned, it's gone for a little extra.
And that ball is absolutely scorched. Just hit a seed out there.
Whoa, that is long.
Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. Good lie in the fairway. Good chance to make something happen here. What a turn of events. Just turned this round upside down. Started off slow, but then managed to pick up the pace and back on track now. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Knocking down all the shots today, now 13 under. Well, Frank, the most famous island green obviously is TPC Sawgrass, Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. Pete Dye's creation. People forget this is also an island green here in the California desert.
And it's called Alcatraz. And have you ever heard of anyone trying to break into Alcatraz?
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
He has this putt for birdie.
Great, too.
Beautiful. Well, here we are at 18. It's a par 4, only 439 yards, but again, we've said it all day long, water to deal with.
It's a great driving hole here, Rich. You don't necessarily have to hit driver. There's 3 groups of bunkers that are really in play off the tee shot. It's the one in the middle. It's around 290 yards. That's the one you really have to focus on. For stronger players, there's nothing wrong with hitting 3-wood off the tee there. You're still only going to have a shot of 150, 160 yards. Whichever way you look at it, it's something that you think you can find the fairway with.
It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
So through one round, Frank, our leader really put on a good show today.
They certainly did, Rich. It was truly a great performance, especially from tee to green. It's not easy to come out of the gates like that.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Today it's live second round coverage of the California Classic. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. That's a good spot right there.
Center cup.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. hide the flag stick from that man. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. He's made it. Frank, the second hole is only 371 yards. What's the challenge here?
The bunkering. This is really well bunkered. You'd expect that for a hole this short. If it's well bunkered, it means that it's vital to get it on the fairway.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Been pretty good all day from this distance. Just trying to take care of business. Has it for another birdie. 2 holes, 2 birdies. Frank, players had hybrids. Some had irons out off the tee on that short par 4 second. Time to get the big stick out here on the third?
It certainly is. The third hole you play here, 3 totally different looks off the tee. This hole appears straightish off the tee, but well bunkered down the left, which makes you push that tee shot a little to the right.
That's in the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
You cannot hide the flag stick from that man inside of 5 feet. So, Frank, what do you think of the start so far?
Rock solid. Very impressed.
Now to the fourth, 192 yards and a pretty tough hole location here today. I like the looks of this one. Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. This can be a cruel game at times. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just 5 feet left. Those keep the round going, those par putts. Well, here we are at the first par 5 of the day, the fifth, 535 yards. Frank, break it down.
It's called double trouble. Reason why, there's the lake on the tee shot on the left side, and then he's reversed it up there on the second shot. He put the lake on the right. Oh, that's fine.
Long and straight, about 320 yards, and in the fairway.
Second shot. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Well, Frank, how about this 255-yard par 3 sixth?
Yeah, there's a bit of a